Hello students, how are you all? So today I am here with the third part of this chapter, that is time. We have already discussed about motion, we have discussed about distance, speed, and we have also discussed about the distance time graph. Now in this video we will solely concentrate in time. So what is time? Time is the duration or the moment in which a thing happens. See, time is very important for us because we need to know the time. We need to know when our school starts, we need to know when the bus comes, we need to know when our school ends, we need to know when our favorite cartoon channel or the cartoon program will come, or we need to know time. Yes, it is very easy to know time because you can easily see a watch and tell the time. But it was not same during ancient time. During ancient time there were no clocks. So what they did? They used to depend on the nature, like from one sunrise to the other sunrise, or from one sunrise to the next sunrise was considered as a day, and from one full moon to the next full moon was considered as 1 month. Now they have tried making a device which can tell them the time. So one of the common device that was used in ancient time was sundial. Now sundial is a very interesting type of device, but it can be used only during the daytime. See, the device has a dial and a triangular blade. The dial is placed on the ground and the triangular blade is kept vertically over the dial. We know the sun rises from the east and then it moves and it sets in the west. So what happens that the sun casts the shadow of this vertical blade over the dial, and in the dial there are some section which denotes there are some demarcation which denote the time, means the hour. So during the day from the sunrise to sunset the shadow moves. As the sun moves, the shadow moves and it tells the time. You can see this type of sundial in enormous form in Jantar Mantar and in Delhi and also in Jaipur. The next type of device is also called sand clock or hour clock. It is a very simple device that there are two bulbs which are connected via a narrow tube, and both the ends of the bulbs are sealed. Inside one of the bulbs they keep some sand. The sand clock is kept in such a way that when it is kept, then the sand from the upper bulb flows completely to the lower bulb, but it does not flows all at a time. It flows gradually because the connecting tube is very narrow. So they used to during ancient time they used to put enough sand that will take an hour to completely fill the lower bulb. So this type of device also helped them to track the time. And the next one is water clock. Water clock is a similar device where the two containers are kept one above another and the water is allowed to dip from the first container to the container which is kept in a lower level. When the container which is kept in the upper level it gets empty, then they again change the container so that the water starts dipping again. The time required to empty the upper container and to fill the lower container is always the same. So that time period, that device is also used to track time. Now these all devices can measure a longer duration of time, but in order to measure small duration these devices were not that much capable of. So first we need to know the unit of time. The standard unit of time is second. We have some bigger units such as minutes and hour. We know 60 seconds equal to 1 minute and 60 minutes equal to 1 hour. We have still bigger units. We know 24 hours equal to 1 day, 30 days equal to 1 month, and 12 months is equal to 1 year, and 10 years is known as a decade, 100 year is known as century, and 1000 years is known as millennium. So there are different unit of time, but the standard unit is second. In modern days, the concept of periodic motion is used in the formation of clock. Periodic motion is the motion which repeats itself after a regular interval of time. One of the instruments which help us to measure time is pendulum. Let us know about the pendulum first. See, pendulum is a simple device. It consists of a rigid support, and from that support a metal bob, a circular ball type of thing, a sphere, metal sphere that is called bob, is attached with a string. Now, as you can see in the figure, there are some terms which you need to know in order to understand this simple pendulum. See, in case of simple pendulum, the length of the pendulum is, if you measure from the point of the attachment to the center of the bob, that is the length of the pendulum. And when the pendulum is at rest, when the bob is at rest, that position of the bob is known as the mean position. Now, when the pendulum moves or oscillates and it has a to and fro motion, so it moves to its left and right. To extreme right, let us point as A, and to extreme left as C. So the movement of the bob from its mean position B to the extreme right A, and then again to the extreme left C, and again come back to B, this is one oscillation. I am telling it again. From the mean position B, it will move to A, and then it will again move to C, and it will come back to B again. This is known as one oscillation, and time required for a pendulum to complete one oscillation is known as its time period. And the distance moved from the mean position to the extreme right or to the extreme left, the displacement, that is known as the amplitude. Now, this pendulum is used in the formation of clock during ancient days, and at that time the clocks used to be a very big clock. Have you ever seen like a grandfather clock? It's like a almirah. You can see the picture here. This type of clocks, inside this almirah there is a big pendulum, and the periodic motion of the pendulum is used for this clocks. Now, during modern days, we have simple watches. Those are small and those can be fit everywhere and they can be carried everywhere. In modern days, we use the watches where quartz crystals are there. Quartz crystals are hard minerals. They consist of silica, and the oscillation of the quartz crystal is used to measure time. Nowadays, the oscillation of the quartz crystal is linked with a circuit, electrical circuit, and with that we can easily measure the time. Nowadays, the smallest unit which we can measure in our ordinary clock is 1 second, but we can also measure, nowadays we can also have those clocks which can measure 1/100th part of a second. Now, we have already done all the numericals related to motion, and we have also done the graphs. Now, from this section time, we also have some numericals. Numericals based on the time period of a pendulum. See, let me give you a little brief about it. The question might be in this way that in 1 minute, that is in 60 seconds, the pendulum oscillates 20 times. So in 60 seconds it is oscillating 20 times. So what is the time period of the pendulum? In unitary method we can solve. That means that is the time required for 20 oscillation is 60 seconds. So time required for one oscillation is 60/20, that is 3 seconds. So in this way you can easily solve the numericals related to the time period of the pendulum. Hope you have understood the chapter, and please study the chapter thoroughly to understand it. and try to solve the question answers. And if you have any queries, just drop it in the comment box. I'm there to resolve your queries. Till then, be at home, be safe. Bye.